Hi, this is Mary Jane Padilla. Welcome to another video. In my last video, I talked about coping with the pandemic, and I asked my friends, my viewers, to give me any suggestions of what to talk about on my next video. And one of the suggestions is parenting, since I am a mother, a parent of three boys. They are 11 years old, 13 years old, and 15 years old. So, what I'm going to share today is about uh, my personal experience as a parent, and some of you may not like what I'm going to share you. If you don't like it, just leave it. Don't take it. If you like it, good. Take it, keep it, and maybe you can enhance what I've done and what I'm sharing to you. And I'm not saying that I am a perfect mother, a perfect parent. I'm still human. I make mistakes, and from those mistakes, I learn from them, and I try my best to be a better version of me and a better version of my children. So let me start with this. Uh, One day, me and my son, the 15-year-old, went for a massage. And he's on one table and I'm on the other side. And my massage therapist asked me, "Are you a cool mom or a strict mom?" And I pause and, like, I don't know what to say. So I said, "What about we ask my son because he's here with us?" So the massage therapist asked my son, and so she said, "Is your mom a strict mom or a cool mom?" And he answered, "She is a weird mom." And we were surprised and we laughed because, like, we did not expect him to answer that way. I'm so thankful and blessed because, like, my son is such a very smart boy, and he is very humorous. He can be a comedian, he can be an actor, whatever you want to ask him, he can do it. And so, anyway, I'm not bragging about him or me as a mother or a parent, but I'm bragging uh, God's goodness because He blessed me with such an adorable, loving, and caring children. And I'm so happy with that. We're all happy together. So, why am I a weird mom? Maybe because um, I'm always busy. I'm always in the kitchen doing something. As like, so when I'm cooking or doing dishes, and when Mark comes in, my 15-year-old comes in, and he start dancing, he would grab his brother dancing, and then whatever I'm doing, I stop and I dance with them. I laugh with them, and I interact with them. Another thing is that when I'm driving, I'm not a quiet driver. I'm such a bad driver, and I'm not bragging or I'm not promoting that you would do the same way like what I'm doing. But it's like I talk while I'm driving. I teach them, give them some insights. So when they're playing their favorite songs, I sing with them. We laugh, and, like, at times, like, we also dance while I'm driving. But thanks God, so far there's no accident. But I don't do that all the time. And anyway, I'll do it when it's safe to do it. So, but like I said, I'm not encouraging you to do that. Also, when I'm so tired, I come from work, no sleep, because, like, I work nights, and after I bring them to school, I go home, and instead of going straight to bed, I still have to bake for their favorite cookies or muffins or other bread. And so, yes, that's why I'm a weird mom. On the other side, um, whenever we travel, like for example, we fly and take a plane, this stewardess, like, there is that three part of the seats in the airplane wherein the three boys would sit together and I would be on the other side, the two-seater. And when I close my eyes and it's resting, the boys would do anything, right? And the stewardess would tap on me, as like, and said, I would look at them as like, what? And they would ask me, "Are they your children?" And I said yes. And I'm so happy and amazed because they would say they appreciate how the kids are. They're being polite, being respectful, and that they're telling that I raised my child children so well, and it's like it's their first time to see my child, right? When we go to the stores, we go shopping, and the boys would do the bagging of our groceries, and the cashiers would say, your children are very good. You did a good job. And so, like, at times I'm so happy and amazed to hear those uh, appreciation, because like it's just their first time to see my children, and they see who they are, right? And I'm so thankful and blessed that God gave me such adorable and a wonderful boys. Yeah. Parenting can be very challenging. I myself is challenged at times. It's really hard, especially with this world that we're living in right now. But uh, I never had problems with my boys when it comes to their attitude and behavior since they were a baby. And they were never cried in the public when we're doing groceries. They don't yell or nor cry. And so, uh, and when we go to the church, they are the same thing. They never cry. They are just them. They listen, they behave, they sit beside us. They are not running around. And so, what did I do? All I did is that I imitated my parents. I raised them the way my parents raised me. And my parents are not a perfect parents also. They made mistakes. So what I did is like whatever they did right, I copied that. And the things that they did wrong, I did not copy it. Instead, I substituted them. Right? So the first thing that I learned from them is love and care. So if you show love and care to your children, they would do the same way. And how do you show your love to your children? So, first, we have the so called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that's the very basic one that we have to meet for us to be a good person, a happy person. So, the first need is that the physiological need. So, of course, we give their food, their clothing, their shelter, and the second need is that the security. We have to let them feel that they are secure, they're safe in our hands. So how do we make them feel safe and secured in our hands? So instead of, children, they're kids. They make mistakes, sometimes they don't behave. So instead of being rough to them when they make mistakes, right? Talk to them. Never use your hands like slapping or thing, because that has a psychological effect on them. So when you start using your hands, slapping or touching them, then they would be scared. They would have a fear in you. So they won't be that comfortable coming to you, because like they are scared of you, right? So third one is the sense of belongingness. So you have to involve them in your activities, in the family life activities, whether it is bad or wrong. Make them involve, get them involved. Let them feel that they are a part of you, that they are a part of your family. So they feel that they are important, that they feel that they belong. They have that sense of connection, right? And then the fourth one would be the self-esteem. Develop in them the self-esteem. May have them. They let them have that confidence, right? So, praising them with every achievement, with everything that they do. Sometimes they don't they miss a thing, so you would just try to uh, pick or choose the right words that they won't feel bad, because we all make mistakes. So look at the positive side. I noticed that the more you praise them, the more they are encouraged to do good things, and the more they are responding, the more that they listen to you. And the fifth one is the self actualization. You would let them feel that like they're very important, right? And so you would let them feel, or encourage them to become who they wanted to become, that thing. So another thing is that children learn through visual and audio, the through listening. So what they see in you and what they hear from you, they learn from it. So be a good role model to them. So so we have to be very careful on what we say and what we show them, because they can pick up so easily. They learn from us. So let's try to be a good example to them as a role model. Of course, like we are still human. We also make mistakes. So when that happens, we just tell them, it's like, oh, I make a mistake. So educate them what they learn from that mistake, and even yourself, what can you do to fix that mistake, right? And so as parents, we wanted to give the best to our children, and sometimes we think that we are doing the best for them, but we we realize that we have to like evaluate, is our parenting working? And one example of this is, I think at one point I was a strict mom. I was very uh, trying to be very academic, because in their school, I wanted to be on top of everything. But then uh, each kid is different, right? And so uh, my eldest is very uh, smart. He is a fast learner. My two other boys are, they're smart too, but the way they learn is different. They are on the slower pace. So what I did is that I moved them to a different school, into a structured school, and I thought they would be better into a structured school. And so I pushed them, push and push and push for them to study harder and to be academic. But I find out that uh, it's not working. I moved them to that school wherein they could, I think it's the best for them, but it turned out to be the worst one. So the best school that we think is not always the best school for our children. We have to adjust on what their needs are and what fits in their psychological development. And so I stopped being a nagging mom or a very pushy mom. I learned that I have to adapt with what they are, because I was always have that fear that's like they would be left behind, and that they won't have a good life if they don't study hard. And me and my children, when I was doing that, we are not happy. I felt so bad because when I was doing that, my youngest son developed anxiety, that he doesn't even know that he's even going through anxiety, and I myself didn't know that until one day. It's like, how come he keeps going to the washroom before I go to when I go pick them up from school? It's like, how come it's taking him so long to come out of the school? And so I ask him every day. It's like how come you're late? And so he would say, I went to the washroom. And so, and also he just went to the washroom, and after 5 minutes, like, he would go again to the washroom. So I brought him to the doctor, and so it's like, what's going on? How come my son keeps on going to the washroom? So I thought he may have some urinary tract infection, or maybe he has some going through diabetes, because like my his grandparents have a history of diabetes, and everything came out normal. And so I uh, asked myself what's wrong, and then I realized that it's I think it he went through that anxiety, that he went into displacement, that yeah, he was scared to see me when I go pick them up, because I would be there again asking them, what's your assignment, what's your assignment for today, what are we going to do today? So I felt bad, because during those time, we would work from after school up to 10 o'clock at night time doing their homework. And even though we work hard doing uh those homework, nothing is working. So since then I gave up. I went and listened to motivational speaking about parenting, about their my children's uh, deficiency, because like I find that uh, it seems like they have a dyslexia. They were not diagnosed yet with dyslexia, but we feel, and the boys themselves felt that they have dyslexia. So I went and taught and research about dyslexia, and knowing that a lot of billionaires and presidents are also dyslexic, and they have become successful, right? And so since then, after learning those ones, I have become being a liberated mom, and I stopped worrying, and I just offered everything to God. And so now they are happy, they are learning more, I noticed that they are doing better. And so, yeah, I think we being a, liberated mom, or being a good example to them also, is one way of making them happy. And another thing is that uh, we have to have that balance, that we have to show them that we are the boss. Do not let your kids, because there are some kids who are kind of manipulative. They would ask everything. And so I find that if you have that balance, letting them know that you are still the boss to be followed, then they would know their limits. And I'm not saying that's like, since you are the mom or dad, you are the parent, that they have to follow you all the time. Because, like I said, we also make mistakes. So we just have to be like a good follower. So for them to follow, we ourselves should be a good follower. And because like we are training them also to be a good parent or a leader. So being a good parent or a leader, we should be a follower also. So another thing that I learned in parenting is that we should be open to change, right? So I know it's really hard to accept that we can be bad, and especially at this moment where there's lots of things going on, there's so many uncertainties. We don't know what the future brings, right? So if we are anxious, if we fear everything, and we are stressed out, the children could feel that. And so if we don't know how to deal with our anxiety, with our fear, with our stress, uh, of course the children would pick that up. So how can we help our children if when they are dealing in that situation, if we ourselves cannot help ourselves, right? So we have to always start with ourselves. So if they see that you're able to cope with your anxiety, with your fear and your stress, then they get that, and so they learn how to deal with it. So just like with this pandemic, we didn't at first they were so scared with the coronavirus, and I myself was like kind of scared because like I don't know so well yet about this coronavirus at the very beginning. And as days passed by, I learned to know what it is, and so I just dealt with it so calmly. I embrace each day, live each day normally, and I didn't show them any fear, any anxiety. And so, dealing with that, they see that in me. And so then, um, yeah, as days went by, they overcome their fear in dealing with the coronavirus. So, at the very beginning, we had problems with the online schooling, right? It was really difficult. It was so stressful. We are not happy, and so we get frustrated all the time. So then, when the school is about to start, we did not even talk about it, if they are going to do online course or if they're going to do the in school. But and we did not discuss about it at all. But because they've seen me how I'm dealing with our everyday life, like living life normally despite of the COVID and isolation, they uh, themselves have decided what to do. I did not even ask them, like, do you want to go to the school or do you want to do online course? They just said to me, it's like, Mom, we're going to school. And so when they decided that way, I just supported them. So I think supporting our children of what they wanted to be and what they wanted to do is very essential also for them. So yeah, so now it's like they are happy in school. They know how to deal with it, with the the physical distancing, the masking, the hand washing. And another thing is that even though they knew things are right, it's also one thing that I learned from my parents is that uh, are always remind them. They may get tired of us reminding them, but I think that reminding them of things to behave, uh, uh, like when they go outside in the outside, when we go anywhere, I always remind them to behave themselves, and they always did. And so at times, like, I don't even remind them anymore. They knew what to do, but again, they are still kids. So yeah, we are there to support them, whatever they need. We show them every day that we love them, we care for them, and yeah, and also always ask them, make them express themselves, like instead of asking their, like, what is your assignment today, what did you do today, right? To, like, show them, tell them, like, I miss you, I love you, son. That's when you go pick them up from school, and when they wake up, also give them lots of hugs, right? So yeah, so if you want to change the world where we're living right now, we should start that in ourselves. Start in yourself, and I start in myself also. So when we do that change, people would see how we're living with it, and so people would imitate. So if each person would duplicate what we're doing, then we would make the change in the world. We would be able to um, prepare our children to uh, live in their own and be confident, right? So parenting is an opportunity, and it's so nice to um have that opportunity to uh, help our children build our community and build the whole world. And so I hope you learn from this sharing. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave it. And next time I will try to answer you. And again, you can also tell me what you want me to talk about in the next video. And and again, remember, Mary Jane Padilla cares. Till the next video again, may God bless you, take care, and have a wonderful day.